Post being married now, the fun part of that was introducing a very traditional Punjabi family to Christmas lunch.
So recently I worked with Shah Rukh Khan sir.
Yes.
I didn't expect that moment in my life.
Working with Yash Chopra, that was at that time that was the holy grail. It was an unimaginable dream to be a Yash Chopra heroine, and also it is extremely difficult to do a film in Tamil. I was weeping, I was crying, I was begging him. I said, how can I perform these scenes? They're so tough.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Quint, and thank you so much for talking to me. Because the film is called Merry Chirstmas, is there a moment that is closest to your heart when it comes to spending Christmas?
First thing is you have to get 1 week holidays.
Yeah.
And then the gifts, always like to see.
Right, yeah.
Like to see gifts.
For me, Christmas is the holiday I associate most with family. For me, Christmas is that one time where families really, you enjoy that time with your family. And I have 6 sisters, so
Yes.
it's always a lot of fun and noise. And I always try and, I've usually tried to spend, that time with my family. Post being married now, the fun part of that was introducing a very traditional Punjabi family to Christmas lunch. So first Christmas we had last year,
Yeah.
and I was asking everyone and all of Vicky's friends, have any of you been to a Christmas party before?
Yeah.
And they were all coming up saying, no, we've never been to a Christmas party. It's our first Christmas lunch. It's really nice. And
Yeah.
now everyone really looks forward to it. So
I'm sure the spread must be just as amazing.
yeah, it's a lot of, I love Christmas decorations and doing up the house.
So what about you?
No, for me also, I've studied in a Catholic school, so Christmas
Yeah.
means 10, 12 days of holidays.
Yeah.
So that is the maximum I remember.
The one thing that really stood out for me was the origami bird, which also sits on the table right here. Would any of you like to tell me the significance of it in the film? Everyone's looking at it.
It's got a deep significance, but we can't tell you too much.
Okay, a little bit maybe?
Okay, in Sriram Sir's films, the details are in the small things, right? Like it's in the details. So you won't realize it, but such a small detail can be that missing piece of the puzzle to the whole puzzle.
Yes, yes.
So I've explained it to you without explaining it to you. But I can tell you one impressive thing
Yes, please.
is that Vijay had to do a pretty long scene and constantly make these birds. And for me, it was a bit of an intense scene, and I was actually getting distracted in the shot because I kept thinking, is he going to mess that up? Is he going to mess it up?
Did you know how to do origami before that, or you learned?
But I learned for the film only, but it's
Right.
very simple. But now I forgot it.
No.
He's cueing you in case you're going to ask him to make
To make it,
Because-
yes. No.
because as soon as I come to the set, I asked him, they have to make this or what?
The other thing that's very interesting is that the film is set in the 80s. The first shot about the tickets being stamped and, the quick shots, it's all so exciting. Is it a reason behind you choosing to set the film in the 80s?
Well, one of the reasons is also because the 80s there were not so many cars on the road, so Bombay looked so much better. Now when you
Yes.
see all these heritage buildings and these walks and all that, they're just double parked on both sides.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons. There are many other reasons. Also, it's a story of a certain innocent times, when there were no cell phones and so on. So that sort of was in our favor. It's a story which is set in a certain period, and it's a Christmas story. It's like a fable.
Right.
So I didn't want to give it a today reality kind of a thing. So
Yes. The other thing that I really liked, apart from a lot of other stuff, was a dialogue in the film.
जब से ये दुनिया बनी है ना, हम सबको एक ही पल की तलाश है। वो पल जब आता है ना, तो समझ में आता है कि सैकड़ों साल से चलती हुई जिंदगी इसी पल के लिए थी।
you're all waiting for that one moment which defines your life.
Absolutely right. Is there a moment that comes to your mind that resonates with you all when you think of this dialogue?
See, so recently I worked with Shah Rukh Khan sir.
Yes.
I didn't expect that moment in my life.
Yes.
That's a moment. And then
Yes.
the day I became a hero, it was a moment. The day I became a father, that was a moment.
Yes.
The day I met Katrina, because when I was in Dubai, I saw her in an ad.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a mango juice in my ad. Okay. So there are so many moments in life.
Yes.
That keeps coming and telling you, yes, you're right.
Yes.
When I was trying for cinema, there is one great director called Balu Mahendra. So people are around me, and then it's already because I'm married and I have 2 kids. Still, you are trying for cinema. Everybody was asking like that.
Yes.
One day when I was trying, I read in a paper and then that he's going to make his film. So I went and stand in front of the office for 4-5 days. One day he called me and he took photographs of me. That your eyes looks nice. Balu Madasa took a photo of me, which means this art is telling me in such a way that there is a place for you. So I'll become somebody in this. Moments keep coming in your life. But for me, if you ask me, you have to be aware of it. So this is the moment which I'm waiting for it. This is a signal I'm getting from the universe.
To appreciate and be grateful for them.
Yes.
Yes. Katrina?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's so well put.
Yeah.
There's so many moments that are gifted to us.
Yeah.
In that moment, it seems surreal, and then you catch yourself watching yourself in that moment, like, wow, this is actually happening.
Yes.
Yeah, I think for me, it would be getting cast in my first ad film, and then my first movie. That was a moment. Working with Yash Chopra, that was at that time, that was the holy grail. It was an unimaginable dream to be a Yash Chopra heroine, and I was so thrilled. Working with Sriram in this film, he was genuinely one of the people on a very short list that I had. That is my dream. It finally came together with Merry Chirstmas. The first moment I met my husband.
Yes. Yes.
That was definitely a moment.
So would you like to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, like both of them, I also have so many this moment, this to me kind of a thing. I mean, like when I used to assist Mukul Anand a long time back, and we were shooting in Khandala, and so I had got the call for the FTI interview. And because we were shooting and I was an assistant, I mean the lowest assistant kind of thing, so I couldn't obviously ask for leave. So I said, forget it, anyway, I'm not joining.
Yeah.
And coincidentally, the day of the interview, the morning the shoot got cancelled. And so since I was very close to Pune, I went.
Yeah.
So I always wonder, okay, suppose I had not gone, suppose the shoot was there, it would have been another, I mean, I would still be a filmmaker, but maybe a different kind of filmmaker, I don't know.
Yes. Katrina, you said us some time back that, on your very short list, his name was always there. So when you did get the offer, for this film, what was going on in your mind, and what was your first reaction to this offer?
I just really felt it was such a special story.
Yeah.
It was a very unique film. I was sold on the story from day one. I was always very, very, very sold on the story. So it was just, I think, if I'm not mistaken of the timelines, we kind of had COVID in the middle. And then, so, it was one of those many conversations that happened that kind of was running over a long time or stretching out over a long time. So you always have that feeling that, okay, is it going to actually happen? When is it actually going to happen?
Yeah. So what about you?
Why me? Surprised. And then actually Badlapur, I wanted to remake in Tamil also. I spoke to a few guys, but then it didn't happen. Okay. That was my career starting time. So I met him in Australia first, where we went for this film festival.
Right.
And then, first day itself, then he was standing outside and he was smoking, and I also wanted to smoke. I don't know how to approach, because I want to work with him. Whether I can express it or not, and what he will think. And he told me that he saw 96 in the flight while coming from Australia. But I was so happy that, and then I always have a doubt. Okay, approached. Okay, whether will it happen or because a lot of films we talk and sometimes it won't take off.
Right.
So I had that fear whether it will take off or not.
Sriram, so when you cast your actors, what is it in them that you saw that you thought that they fit these characters perfectly?
See, with Katrina, what happened is we had just met casually, and she had told me that she wants to do something which is a little different from the kind of movies that she's normally doing, which are like big, large mounted films,
Right.
I had this story for a couple of years. I had this. And I thought, what about her? So she was cast before Vijay actually. I did sort of talk to a couple of people, and some names were tossed up. One actor also agreed and liked it. Was a good actor. I'll not name him. But somehow I felt, okay, they have done films together before. So I just wanted a unique kind of a pair, And then when I went to Melbourne, that's in the festival where Andazun was there, Super Deluxe also was there. And when I met him, just sort of, I said, what if he'd asked him, like, do you speak Hindi? Can you speak Hindi? He said, मैं 3 साल दुबई में रह चुका हूँ, काम कर चुका हूँ. So I said, okay, that's one thing taken care of. I mean, when you see the film and you know the story, you'll probably think, okay, these two, I mean, it's like so they're so different and and yet that's why it works, So
I think it's a fabulous, fabulous pairing, really. Every time you guys do a film, I'm sure you walk away taking something from that film, an experience, a moment, or something that always stays with you, whether it's your characters, directors. What is it about this film that you felt kind of enriched you as a person? Or if you can also go with an actor, that's also cool.
It taught me a lot about not being attached to a certain way of doing things.
Okay.
You know, I think sometimes you can get in a certain rhythm, like Sriram said, with the kind of type of films that I'm more accustomed to being a part of. Just because it's the way something is usually done doesn't necessarily mean it's the only way it should be done. I think just learning to be very flexible and fluid and open to the many different ways a scene or take or story can be told or interpreted.
Right.
I think that's definitely the takeaway I'll take away from the film. And also, it is extremely difficult to do a film in Tamil, and that's the other takeaway I will definitely be holding with me.
Yeah.
Because there was always a bilingual film.
Right.
So it's shot in Hindi, and then we do another take in Tamil, a whole separate take in Tamil.
Yes, I read about that, yes.
So because there's one chunk one place where we first started the shoot, it's one set where we did kind of all the Hindi portions first.
Okay.
And I kept on somehow telling myself the story that Sriram isn't going to let me not do it. He's going to let me off the hook. He's going to let me off the hook. He'll figure something. I don't know why I was telling myself that. And when the day finally came where he's like, from tomorrow, now it's the same thing, but in Tamil. I was weeping. I was crying. I was begging him. I said, how can I perform these scenes? They're so tough.
I'm sure she aced it.
She aced it, and how? Because it's not easy. I mean,
Yes.
Also, I had sort of in a sort of dogma style decided that it should not be a performance that's coming through cuts. You know, it's like, so they are both sitting and talking means, so it's going to be one shot. And Tamil is a language you just can't mug it up and remember and all that. Only advantage she had was she has done the same thing in Hindi. So there is, you know this character and you know the scene.
Right.
But the rest of it is sheer hard work, perseverance, and I don't know, I mean, hats off.
But I think that's the one thing everyone says about Katrina is how hardworking she is.
I started saying a few years ago, I would like to hear other adjectives to describe me. You know, hardworking is nice, achha, but it's not poetic, it's not romantic, it's not flowery. So I would like now other adjectives.
Would you guys like to give 2 new adjectives for Katrina?
2, it became 2.
1 each. No, so we'll get 2 new.
No, she's adaptable. Like, suppose if she come up with some idea, then director says no, or if you have something else which is opposite to her thoughts also, it may take time to understand, but she understands very fast and she do it there also. Her performance is very difficult to perform because you see something and then deep inside is something else. So it's very difficult to understand. You have to not hear it. It has to come from here. So
it's an extremely layered character.
You will want to watch it again. Okay, let me just check it out. Okay, is this how?
What
is it
was
all right? You know, kind of thing.
How exciting. How exciting.
What I actually am really excited for, because I've seen obviously the Hindi version of the film, I actually would really like to watch the Tamil version. We'll do that soon.
Thank you so much for talking to me and good luck for the film. Thank you guys. It looks fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.